Well, if you're on the job hunt and you need to polish off your resume, Grand Rapids Public Library is here to help.
Steve Asarian, business and career librarian, joins us live to talk about how you can receive feedback from trained library staff. Good morning, Steve. How are you doing today?
Good. How are y'all doing this morning?
Good. We are awake. We're nearing the end of our show here, so thanks for joining us. So let's talk a little bit about the resume service that you guys offer.
Well, thanks for having me. And one of the things that we kind of recognize at the library is that a lot of people are in periods of transition. The pandemic has hit job seekers really hard, and we wanted a safe and easy and effective way to help people. So we decided that a resume review service would be a really good way to do that. And what we did was we set up a form online. You can go to grpl.org/SBRC to find it, and you can send in your resume as a docx file, and within a certain amount of time, we'll send your resume back with specific editing tips and tricks to help you put your best foot forward. Our consultation service, which is basically an hour's worth of my time where you can kind of walk through the different paths of career that you can take.
That's awesome and wonderful opportunities for people out there. So does this come free of cost, free of charge for people seeking to take and utilize your services?
Absolutely. So it's free of charge for people in the city of Grand Rapids, obviously, as a city library, and we also have extended the service to people in Kent County as well. Just because if West Michigan wins, we all win. So that's something we recognize at the library.
Wonderful.
What's the one thing, or maybe a couple of things, that you guys always recommend or see consistently on somebody's resume that somebody could even just tweak at home right now if they're watching that could improve it?
Oh, that's a great question. So the biggest thing that I see in terms of resume mistakes or missteps is not including numbers and outcomes, because having an employer understand that you had a responsibility is not as important as what you did with that responsibility. And in terms of including numbers, that gives an employer a much better scope of what you were doing. To say, oh, I was a supervisor at my job, well, that could mean a lot of different things. Saying that you supervised a team of 20 people and you saved your company, $1 million a year or something like that, that's much more effective even now. And then overemphasizing the employee as opposed to what you can do for the employer. Because a lot of the time, we are very invested in our own story, and that's obviously natural. But an employer is going to be invested in what can you really do for the company or the organization that's really going to make their lives better and easier and more effective.
I'm on your website right now. What is Books by the Stack for Business? Can you go into detail about that?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that we kind of recognize at the library is that book clubs are a great way for people to kind of come together about ideas, discuss things and things like that. And for business specifically, we have a few books that we've kind of recognized as really important. My personal favorite, which is Lean Startup. It's kind of a classic now, and it's really the first business book that I read that really kind of opened my eyes to new ideas about business and really new ways of living, which can be, and it's super effective. We also have a Daniel Pink book, To Sell is Human, which is also again, just a mind-blowing book about particularly how to market things and how to connect people to your own story and how you can make that effective for you. And then also Small Giants, which is about smaller companies that don't necessarily get a ton of press, but are really linchpins of their community and the kinds of business, but as a country.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time this morning. A lot of great tips for people to improve their resume and get back out there during the job hunt. So we do appreciate your time, and we'll have more information here at Fox 17 Online if you'd like to learn more. But thank you again for joining us.
Well, thank you all very much. And from the Grand Rapids Public Library, have a great weekend and enjoy that brisk fall weather. So
Oh,
thank you very
too.
much.
All right. Well, time now is 8:53 still.